All right, Vivek is done. The racist base turned on him in Ohio. This one here is by the amazing Lucas, man. I'm about to check him out. Actually, a guy who I know is a huge fan of him, and he actually put me on Amazing Lucas. I just came across him for the first time not that long ago, so interested to see his thoughts and viewpoints.
Vivek is done.
Powerful intro.
Oh my goodness. So I'm sure many of you guys are well aware that Trump has recently endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy for Ohio governor. And
wow.
I gotta be honest with you, that's probably the most tone-deaf thing he could do given the political climate right now. Because
Yeah, I would say so for the simple fact, yeah, a lot of people hate the brown people right now, especially the people that identify as MAGA. So it's like, damn, why would he do that?
there's one teeny tiny little problem in his endorsement of Vivek Ramaswamy for Ohio governor. And that is no one in Ohio wants Vivek Ramaswamy for Ohio's governor. That's a, I don't know, glaring flaw in his endorsement. Because the funny in this endorsement is not too long ago, Trump called Vivek Ramaswamy very sly and that he wasn't MAGA. In addition to that, Trump's top advisor called Vivek Ramaswamy a scam artist, right? A fraud, which is what many have labeled against him, given that his stock and his manipulation of a company that he sold that he knew was garbage. There are videos that cover his devilish ways, okay? Him being an actual fraudster. But that being...
Yeah, I just saw something recently about him making over $700,000 in a calendar year, but trying to benefit from like scholarships that are usually geared towards people of color that come from meager means. But here he is, someone who is well within the top 2 to 3%, making $700,000 in a single year, bro. And you trying to get money that could probably be given to someone who else needs it more. You know, that's a character flaw, I would say.
Exactly. We have 2009.
But the fact of the matter is, you know what I would advise every 24-year-old should take $50,000. Yeah.
And 2010, you made $750,000. You had the money to pay for law school. You didn't need a Soros affirmative action scholarship that you now criticize.
I mean, none of this is worthy, but if you think it is, let's get to the detail. That was actually the first big piece of money.
You say you're anti-affirmative action. You took a scholarship for immigrants.
I'm anti-affirmative action.
So why did you take a scholarship for the children of immigrants?
Which falsehood would you like me to address? The financial one or the one about my views on affirmative action? Because I can go in whichever order you'd like.
On
the financial piece of it. Not at the time that I had applied for the scholarship that fall.
Yes, you did.
That December.
Yes, you did, Vivek. This is awkward for you because you did.
It doesn't matter when it happened, but you're a conservative. You're not supposed to believe in affirmative action, but here you are, a man who made $750,000 American dollars, taking away the scholarship from immigrant children. Come on, man, you're a hypocrite.
Got the tax returns in front of my face.
No, it's not awkward for you.
This has to be one of Mehdi Hassan's.
Said there's a bigger concern, and that when it comes to the people of Ohio. And the people of Ohio are majority white and majority Christian. So when you endorse a non-white, non-Christian person to be their governor, you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you think that's going to go anywhere, okay? Vivek Ramaswamy is Indian, and he's also Hindu. I guess the best way to describe this is on top of him being Hindu and not being Christian, well, I'll just let Ann Coulter describe it.
And that's why I brought on today somebody who I think has some thoughtful perspectives on the future direction of our country, of our conservative movement.
We? Who's we?
Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
He gonna cry in the car. Damn, dog. Have some self-respect for yourself, bro. Sense of pride. Why do you want to be these people's leaders so bad? They don't like you at all, bro. You're brown. Come on, man. Let's be for real, dog. How delusional can you be? I'd have dropped out right then and there. Yeah, Will, I ain't gonna vote for your black ass, bro. Well, shit, if you feel like that, how many other people feel like that?
And that right there is the biggest problem, is that Vivek Ramaswamy is brown, and they are lighting him up on X, okay? And if you think that X is just this, outlier, no. What the problem with X is that we're starting to see what people truly feel. We're starting to see what these ignorants really feel about these individuals, about these pundits, about these politicians. And we're starting to see, you know, them attacking Vivek Ramaswamy when it came to his kids, how he's American. When it comes to him trying to cosplay with his, you know, with cowboy hat and everything, they despise this man. They don't see him as American, simply as a
he is trying too damn hard, man. What the hell is this? Bro, I'm going to tell you straight like this, dog. If you do not identify with the Midwestern culture or the farm boy culture or the cowboy culture, you are a tryhard, bro. Look at this shit. This don't even look right, dog. Bro, you look desperate as hell, bro. Damn. I think they'll respect you more if you pulled up in your traditional Hindu clothes.
Said, because he's Indian. Damn. He's not white. And furthermore, he's a birthright citizenship baby.
I believe in being consistent about my policies where...
So your father is not a citizen of the United States?
He's not.
Damn.
After years of being in this, you know, following the legal process of becoming a naturalized citizen, she followed it through the legal process. And
so you gained citizenship through birthright.
Everything.
Which is crazy because Trump just endorsed him, but isn't Trump or wasn't Trump trying to get rid of birthright citizenship?
And I mean literally everything Trump is running against or ran against. He even tried to get rid of birthright citizenship, okay? Do you understand these people despise Vivek? Vivek is everything they hate with this country. You need to understand this. Vivek is the epitome of their worst fears imagined. If you couple that, because you know an elephant never forgets, and apparently neither do swine, but they very much remember him criticizing them, talking about, hey, America is celebrating white mediocrity, essentially. And they didn't like that. They still haven't forgiven him. Once he got kicked off the Doge for saying that, what did they do? They showed him in a 7-Eleven talking about, thank you very much. They have...
Hey, you got to give the racists some credit, bro. They come up with some clever jokes, dog. They come up with some clever jokes, man. Their sense of humor when it comes to like racial subjects, boy, like they are top tier and second to none. I bet you none of y'all know any white jokes for the most part. And I bet you none of y'all know any Asian jokes and none of that shit. But I bet you heard a black joke before. Because no, we generally just don't come up with jokes messing over people like that. But it's crazy.
Yet again showed him that they don't like you, bruh. They don't want you. And culture showed you they don't like you. When you did your interview with your shoes off and your socks off, they're getting on him for that. Like, this isn't...
Bro, come on, man. You gotta have some type of common sense, dog. Come on now.
Getting on him for that.
Boy, you got your dogs out? Yeah, you ain't getting voted in, partner. It's over for you, bro. You know the jokes came in like a motherfucker when they seen that, dog. Damn.
Like, this isn't an American. We have him go back to Indian. And they're saying, if you're so great, why don't you make India great again, huh?
We don't need that. We don't actually need that. You can go back to India. You want to fix a country? Go and fix your own country. You are Indian. You married an Indian. You had Indian kids. You gave them Indian names. You don't embrace the Christian God. You still profess the Hindu faith. And you still profess pride in your group. Why don't you go to India if you're so proud?
You think you're fine after a car accident until this happens. Most people don't realize that even accidents that seem minor.
I ain't gonna lie. That's an interesting point that Nick Fuentes brings up. See, with me being a African American, he couldn't tell me nothing like that. Man, you're African. You're married to an African American woman. You have African American kids. Won't you go and fix your continent? I mean, I'm tethered to the USA. My shit goes back generations and generations, probably further back than Nick Fuentes, probably further back than most white people, honestly, if we being real. But with that being said, I'm here. I'm of America. So yeah, if I try to fix my America, the whole America looks better. If I fix the ghettos, you know what I mean? The America as a whole looks better. You couldn't tell me that, dog. That's crazy work right there.
And if you compound this on top of the documentary that allegedly was supposed to be coming out by the YouTuber who went to India and engaged in the poop throwing festival, oh my God. Electing and endorsing an Indian person right now, bro, good luck. good luck, because there is going to have to be some serious image rebranding, okay? Some serious image rebranding for Vivek Ramaswamy to hold any water in Ohio, okay? And we see the polling, and the polling's not looking good. Trump won that every single time, and Vivek he's struggling because these people are sick and tired of what they view as foreigners and immigrants taking their jobs.
And offering to do the same work for next to nothing. They took our job.
That's what you have to understand. This whole H-1B visa, they're sick and tired of them taking their jobs. So you're now trying to put another Indian person to take their job. That's how they view it. And I saw a post, there was one person who was like, yo, I'll vote for the white liberal lady before I vote for him. And that's where it's gotten to. Even when we look at when it comes to 2028, people, even those on the right, are saying, hey, I'd rather vote for Gavin Newsom because he has a white wife, he has white kids, as opposed to J.D. Vance, who has a non-white wife, and one of his sons' name is Vivek.
J.D. Vance is fat and ugly and has an Indian wife who is the daughter of immigrants, and his kids are all brown.
Damn. You know what? A lot of people said a lot of messed up things about Obama, but one thing they had to respect about him is that he married a black woman. That's one thing, because I don't think he would have made it as a president had he been married to anything other than a black woman, honestly, bro. No, it has very little to do with this. I just wanted to point that out.
And Gavin Newsom has a beautiful white wife and beautiful white children.
That's important.
That
to the
is
white
the
man.
audience that you have cultivated, okay? And like I said, I got my popcorn and I'm enjoying the show. It is amazing, bruh. I wish I had it on TiVo so I could boop, boop, like rewind it and pause it and just slow-mo certain actions, right? Because it's hysterical. They spent their entire time lambasting, ridiculing, being attack dogs for races, to attack black people, right? Vivek Ramaswamy, oh, this is racism, right? Dinesh D'Souza is another one of them. Oh, Nikki Haley, another one. All these people did was attack. And now, look what's happening. Their masters have turned around and they whipping them, bruh. They tell them, hey, you know what? How about you get out of here? We don't need you anymore. And now the attack dog is going, yeah, you all alone now. You all alone in the big bag boogie United States of America. Don't look to us. Don't look to black people. You guys, good luck. I don't know where you can go. Because now it's game over for you. It's game over. And we see, as much as they want to say, well, I'm an American and I'm red-blooded American, we see with Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh D'Souza exposed himself when the person was talking about, hey, I'm not going to release the poop documentary. And Dinesh D'Souza put out a post talking about, well, why don't you make a documentary about how the poop throwers are going to rule the country, right? Are going to rule the world, essentially, how we're going to take over. And that right there, that's why I've been telling people. That's why I've been warning as far as many of the white ignorants. I've been telling them, hey, listen, I know you think you got a Dinesh D'Souza who's, doing your dirty work. I know you think you got a Vivek Ramaswamy who's doing your dirty work. I know you think you got a Tim Pool and the rest of them who's doing your dirty work. These people don't like you. They don't like you. Once that money goes dry, they'll turn on you with the quickness.
And then we'll see how loyal a hungry dog really is.
You have internal conflict with the dog and the master. That's what's happening. Because at the end of the day, it was destined to fail. All we wanted was peace and to live in harmony, okay? That's all black people wanted. Y'all couldn't accept that. The lineage evil couldn't accept that. You wanted death and destruction of a group of people who have done no wrong to you. We didn't enslave you. We didn't tell you you couldn't vote. We didn't tell you to drink at that water fountain. We didn't tell you you couldn't live in this neighborhood. But for some reason, that's why I say, the lineage of evil, for some reason, something about your DNA or however you evolved or devolved caused you to have such animus towards us that you invited people who did not even have your best interest at heart. They were just taking a paycheck. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing all the brown and the black Sambo soldiers that they propped up and they imported here to attack us. They're now turning their backs on them.
And it's so ironic because without our black asses, without the 1960s civil rights movement and everything like that, he doesn't get to fix his lips to get on the internet, to get on anybody's campaign to do any of this stuff. You can't go and do any of the things that you are able to do without us. And they turn their back on us. But you know what it is? When they come over here, they try to be white adjacent because, white and black being polar opposites. If you get on the good side of white people, then, you know, the American dream seems that much more obtainable. And like, you know, you see all of the stuff on TV and all of the propaganda, you want to separate yourself from African Americans. So yeah, that's why they turn their backs on us as soon as they get here, even though they're only here because of us. All of the civil liberties that you have are because of African Americans. Nobody in your lineage did anything for that. Straight up. Y'all wasn't here in the 1960s when people were getting sprayed down by water hoses. Man, do y'all know how powerful a water hose is that they use to put out fires? And they was using those on people, black people. And then people like him bring his crazy ass over here and just try to benefit off the rip from all of the hard work that black people put in. Only for them to just try to throw us under the bus. It's crazy to me. But, you know, it is what it is.
Ask Benny Boy how he feels about Candace Owens, huh? Ask Dennis Prager and his paralyzed self how he feels about the nice slave plantation owners.
There were undoubtedly many nice slaveholders in the South.
Undoubtedly is a strong
not
word.
Meant facetiously, again. It's meant literally.
You go ahead and ask them. Bro, they reaping what they sowing. I don't know what to tell you. Hell, ask Charlie Kirk about gang violence. I don't know what to tell you. They reaping what they sowing. And I didn't even have to lift the finger. I didn't have to lift the pinky, fam. I'm just sitting back and watching the destruction that they cause. They so wicked that they're causing their own destruction. Now they want to turn around and say, you know what, we need to get these out of here. What are they saying? They saying stuff like, you know, yeet the jeet and stuff like that. All this racist stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, you the ones that were hiring them. You said, I don't need the black person, give me him, I'll take him. You know what, I don't need the white person, give me him. And now you have the white youth who can't find a job, who can't raise a family because they don't have the money to raise a family, who can't buy a house. Bro, the American dream is going to people who they don't even view as American. Is it? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think, whether or not you believe, that's not true. It's just because I think there are better candidates than Vivek. That's all. It has nothing to do with his skin color. It has nothing to do with him being Indian. Or if you believe, yeah, you can keep telling yourself that.
I mean, they literally told him to his face, I wouldn't have voted for you because you're Indian. Straight up, I mean, how much more blunt and frank do you want them to be? You have to understand, bro, a lot of these people believe in the great replacement theory. You know what I mean? They're trying to keep the white power structure intact because they benefit from it. What do they look like conceding power over to a brown person? Every time you give power to a brown person, on the opposite end, you're taking power away from a white person. So yeah, it's all about design, bro.
But the cat's out of the bag, bro. We seen how y'all vote. We seen what y'all about. I've seen this for a minute now, but now it's out in the open. There is no putting the cat back in the bag. There's no putting the bunny back in the hat. It's open now. We see who y'all are. And, you caused this destruction. You caused this destruction of your own self. You caused this. I didn't cause this. So I don't know what you expect. I really don't know I don't know what to tell you, because it's just going to be chaos. That's all it's going to be. Once you turn on the people that you've employed, right? They're going to turn on you. And then other groups of people are going to turn on you, and it's just going to be chaos. Somebody's going to win. I don't know who's going to win, all right? Whoever orchestrated this, possibly, if it was orchestrated. But that's the only outcome, is what you guys have come here to do. Kill, steal, and destroy. Seems like you're doing a pretty good job. Anyways, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday. Disagreement Day.
Hey, bro, I just know that there's somewhere in America right now. See, the problem is this Vivek Ravioli or Ramadan, whatever this fella's name is. How do you get off being Hindu and you want to run America? That's about as wrong as dick cancer. I'll tell you what, you let one of them over here and the floodgates are open. They're going to be over here cooking with their sandals off and flies swimming around the food. And you ever seen those videos of that in street food? That's what they want for us Americans. Long gone are the days of beef stroganoff and raisins in the potato salad. No. They want to bring over curry goat. Where do they get off eating goat? Do you know that people worship cows? Cows, of all animals, a cow. I don't know about you, but cows got to be one of the animals ever. So what does that say? Somebody's having a racist conversation like that right now about Vivek, bro. That's crazy as hell, man. It is what it is, though. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hit the sub button.